Hi everybody and welcome to our Thursday afternoon. Well, I always call them impromptu during the week when we do live during the week, and it's getting to be that I do them every week, so they're no longer impromptu.
Erratic,
Yeah, kind of sporadic routine.
Yeah.
Maybe. So hi Lynn, hi Hilda, hi Jean and hi Ross. I can't see anybody else on there, although I can see that there are more people around. You're just not chatting to me. Chat to me, please. I like it. Today is the start of a new project. Hi Sharon, I'm glad you found us. And hi Shaz. Two Sharons today, one with a double R. Shaz Conabere is known as Shaz to everyone. So I find it strange when people refer to her as Sharon because she's called Shaz. And Sharon was having problems finding us, so obviously you found us. Well done, girl. And Maureen, hello. And Kerry, hello. Lovely. Oh, you've had a lovely day catching up on videos. Oh, my goodness me.
Supposed to be working.
Or sleeping or something. Right, well, you can tell I'm excited. I've turned my mat over. So now look how clean this is. The only problem is it's in centimetres and my brain does not work in centimetres, but never mind.
We're not doing anything today.
I'm not really doing anything very much today apart from I'm going to dismantle this little golden book. Some of you, Jen in America and myself over here in the UK, we've sent out some little golden books to people. I'm afraid that we couldn't send them to everyone on the rack list or everyone in the group for obvious reasons. But I went onto eBay UK and I found these little golden books for about £2-3, including postage. So they're not prohibitively expensive if you want to join in this project. And I hope you do. It's a really, well, a lot of it's quite basic, but there's enough there for the experienced people to take it on and run with it a bit, I think. So this is how they come. This is what they look like. My book, the very first book I got, the one that Jen sent me, is called The Very Best Home for Me. It's all about these sort of woodlandy type creatures with a dog and a cat as well. And it's gorgeous. I've read the story several times. Oh dear, not even to Mr. F when he's, for a bedtime story, just for myself. And this is a book I bought for myself so I could do a sort of mock-up. Well, it's not even a mock-up, it's a finished journal to show you what it is that we're going to try and achieve. So I bought I'm a ballerina because I don't have to explain to you, do I, why I bought that one. And it's a little golden book and we've taken it apart and Mr. F has put a new spine in it and this gold fabric that we were fortunate enough to have because I do boho journals, etc. We already had some gold fabric, but any fabric at all will do when we get to that stage. I'll as we go along though, I will give you a rundown of what I think that we all need for the kind of basic version of this. This is a 2-signature journal. I don't know how many pages are in each. A few. You can count if you really want to know. So here's the opening page. I'm a ballerina. And then I have chosen to do my made pages in shabby chic style. And the reason I chose that was because when I looked through all the papers that I had already printed out, surplus from various projects I'd done, I had loads of shabby chic papers. Loads, I mean ridiculous amounts. So I thought I'd use some up, and I don't know if it looked right or wrong really. I quite like it actually now it's finished. It's just that this is very obviously a children's book and this looks very grown up. So I don't know, if you intend giving it to a child, shabby chic probably isn't the way forward, but I will introduce you later on into what I think is a sensible way of going on with that. So all these pages that are made, we will learn how to make every single one of them step by step. So there's another one with a pocket. All this ephemera is from My Porch Prints. It might be from their grand sensational ephemera pack, or it might just be from Grandma's attic or something. It's all just ephemera that I have collected together over the years, really. And My Porch Prints probably does the best ephemera ever. Gentle shove there with the hand. And another one of the design sheets. Now this I've done, it's the hand. Yes, hello.
Hello.
Did I do that when you were doing yours? Did I?
You made certain hand gestures, yes, but you didn't actually appear on camera, to be fair.
Right, this and this is done with the Sizzix machine. Now, I am aware that probably most of the new starters won't have a Sizzix machine, and so we will come up with an alternative for this, for the people that don't have that machine. And that's got a stencil in the back, and when you pull the journaling card out, it's got a butterfly there through the acetate. We'll learn how to do all of that. That's just a stencil with some ink on the back of a journaling card. Now this is a most unusual journal for me. It's the only one I've ever made in my life where I haven't backed all my journaling cards with coffee stained paper, etc. For a start, I was trying to keep the bulk down, but the other thing is I want it to be relatively quick so as we can kind of get through it sometime. And here's this little pocket here, more ephemera. That might be a calico collage piece. And just 3 little dinky little things put into there. And yet when you put them in together, they really make it look nice, I think. So, and just a little tag there. Another design sheet, then we're into this. This is an envelope that I made onto a. This is the other thing. This paper that I've used is actually 90 GSM, which is £24 if you're in the States. So it's quite thin. It's ordinary copy of paper.
Like a roll call at any point.
And one sec. And this is a little envelope that I made. I have used lace throughout the whole project. I've used one kind of lace, so you don't need to feel that you need to go out and buy loads of different designs of lace. I've used one throughout, and I chose pink because my book was quite pink, and that's coffee stained paper, decoupaged flowers on it, little journaling card inside, sewn around, and that's it. Simple as simple. And it's on there, and it's just got a safety pin. No, paper clip. One of these days, you never know, I might get it right. Yeah, let's have a roll call.
You've already said good morning to some people, but we'll say it again.
Okay.
Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
Hilda.
Hi, Hilda.
Jean.
Hello, Jean.
Ros.
Hello, Ros.
Shaz.
Hi, Shaz.
Sharon Brunner.
Hi, Sharon.
Maureen.
Hello, Maureen.
Kerry.
Hello, Kerry.
Mabel.
Hello, Mabel.
Deborah.
Hello, Deborah.
She-Marie.
Hi, She-Marie.
Diane Johnson.
Hello, Diane.
Nancy Walser.
Hello, Nancy.
Donna.
Hello, Donna.
Miranda Holmes.
Hi, Miranda.
Tracy Lander.
Oh, I don't know that name. Hello and welcome, Tracy. Welcome along.
Flo.
Hiya, Flo. Oh, you've escaped the family for a little while.
Yeah,
nice to see you.
Snuck over to say hi.
Oh, thank you. Hi.
Carrie. Kerry.
Hello, Kerry.
Natalie Lee. Natalie Lee.
Natalie Lee. Hiya, Natalie. I imagine you're at work and sneaking this. So.
Joan Price got up early.
Hello, Joan. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Jen Sinclair.
Hello, Jen.
I think that's everybody. If I've forgotten anybody, sorry.
Well, how nice of you all to join us this Thursday afternoon. It's a pretty murky one up here, actually, so you're not missing much. We've got extra lights on today because it really is dark.
Some of you got up extra early and some of you are staying up extra late.
And we appreciate it all. I absolutely appreciate it all. And this is the centre page. Some of you will have seen me make this page before, of course. It's fairly standard, one of my centre pages, but it's a good one to have in your arsenal. So we'll look at that again. This is just a side pocket with a big journaling card in there, some more design paper from the book. This is just a double pocket, big journaling card, some of which I've sewn around, some I haven't. I don't want to sew around them all because then there's no point of difference. They all just look the same. And then on the back of there, we've got this corner pocket, or really more precisely a tuck spot, I guess. And I've popped some bits of ephemera in there, more of my book. And then this, we've got another belly band down here and 2 journaling cards to tuck into the back of that. So really, although there's not sort of so much actual journaling space, there's plenty journaling cards and they're large. So you would get plenty of things written down, I think, in the book. And on the back of that, we've got this side pocket with some lace on and 2 journaling cards. So there we are. I think that's the end of that signature. Starting the new signature, we've got a double pocket here on an angle, like so. And as we go along, we'll discuss whether we want to actually colour this coffee stain paper. This is the bog standard version. I have made the most basic version that you can. As we go along, we'll talk about and discover ways that you can actually tart it up. You know what I mean? And I've literally just stuck that on there, but there's so many other things that you could put on there. Thank you very much indeed. You know, a bit of bling gen would go on there nicely. Loads of stuff, and we'll discuss the options as we get to certain places. This is a tuck spot at the top here with these 2 journaling cards tucked into it. This was actually this was a thing of cards, thank you cards actually. I didn't buy them, they're from the works. I suspect that Mr. F's found them in a charity shop somewhere along the line, thought they would come in handy. I see I've nicked all the envelopes already. But I just literally cut one of these off along here. It's made of quite sturdy card. And so it forms a really nice solid tuck spot there. Another one of my book pages. Here we've got a horizontal sort of belly band, if you like. And I've made a little journal from coffee stain paper to go in there. Put some lace on the top and it just slides into there. So extra journaling. And as I say again, it's worth considering when we come to do it, whether we want to actually decorate the coffee stain paper as well. I personally quite like that, but we'll discuss it when we get there. And on the back of that, we've got this big pocket, 2 pockets actually here. One goes down this way and this one comes here. And this is crying out to be decorated. I mean, it really is. But as I say, I left it and we'll discuss it when we come to it in our journal as we go. Book page. This is a little one of those envelopes. Maybe you've seen me do before. It's just an envelope. Very often I make these out of paper that I've put through the printer twice, so it's both the back and the front are printed. This one I didn't, and I just stenciled some, stamped rather, some butterflies on there. Made the envelope up and just glued it down the sides and the bottom, so I had room at the back to slide a journaling card in, and then at the front I've got room for these 2 little journaling cards. You'll notice, or you might have noticed, that there are no tags in here. That's because it's easier, I think, to make journaling cards. But as we go along with our making our own little golden book, I'll give you the option of using tags and show you how I would use them. As I say, this is a very basic one. And on the back of there, we've got this pocket here that is it's kind of pleated, if you like. So that's 1 tuck, that's 2 tucks. And on here I've just put that, and I've put a little lace handle on it. It's just a little bit of ephemera goes into there. They pop into there, and these 3 lovelies pop into there. So for all it's really kind of neat, there's not much of it. There's quite a lot going on. This bit, this is the centre. This is a over the top, like that, and like that, not over the top. Just a piece of the shabby chic paper I've sewn around. I've stuck some lace, coffee stain paper on the inside. Great journaling spot. It's going onto this quite plain coffee stain paper, which, as I say, we can discuss when we get to it. Held in place with a paper clip, and oops, get back. And this also needs a bit of jazzing up. But when we come to it, we must bear in mind that people will be writing on the inside. So you don't want to put anything too lumpy on there, or you can't write on it, basically. But that's that page, another of the book pages, book page, and then this, which is I think I got this idea from Angela Kerr, and I'm sure she said she got it from somebody else, but I can't remember who. But if you're ever stuck for a video to watch, Angela Kerr's videos are really good. So that's just a kind of 1-page pocket, and that goes beautifully with that, but I didn't have any more of that, so and that just slides into there with some bit of lace. And on the back, a little tuck spot there with a couple of journaling cards in. And here we've got a paper clip holding in, well, on this side it's holding in a couple of journaling cards. Really pretty ones, actually. And on this side it's holding an envelope that I've made using one of my templates. This was a piece of ephemera that I've stuck on the front because it's got kind of an address on it. Well, it's not kind of an address, it is an address, I think. And then I've stuck that 5 centime stamp on and just put a little journaling card inside. So that's quite nice. And I've put that over the edge of the page, paper clipped it on. And then on the back, that paper clip allows us to pop a couple of little or large journaling cards in there. And that is the end of my book. Now, I know it's very basic. But there's loads there to build on. And I wanted us to have a kind of pattern, an example to go from. So this is what I will be using as my template, if you like. I quite like, well, I really like, I think, all the pages that are in there. The one with the Sizzix cutout, that's going to have to be revamped for people that don't have a Sizzix machine. But that's the only one, I think. I think all the rest, they're pretty user-friendly, even for real beginners. So let's have a talk about what it is that we're going to need to complete to bring this to this, basically. I've got a bit of a list going, but the first thing that we need, obviously, is coffee stained paper, which I've used throughout. Now, it's not mandatory. You don't have to coffee stain your paper. You can use ordinary white paper that you've used for your, regular copying, or you can coffee stain it or tea stain it. And I do have a very good video that Mr. F did. If you look back through my videos, you'll see a video all about coffee staining paper, and you'll learn more on that video than you ever needed to know about coffee staining paper. So you can leave it white, you can coffee stain it, you can tea stain it. There are other organic things you can stain your paper with if you're feeling a bit more brave, let's say. And there's different thicknesses that you can use. As I say, for this, I've used 90 grams, which is £24. And I think for this sort of book, that's okay. Normally I use 160 grams. I'm not sure how many pounds that is, but it's quite a lot, and it's quite thick. So anyway, that's the coffee stained paper. Now, while we're on that, you'll see that around the edge of virtually everything that I've done, in fact, hopefully everything, I don't think I've missed anything out, I've inked around it, and it just gives the whole thing the impression of being aged. Now, generally within the junk journaler's sort of thoughts, we use this Tim Holtz Distress Ink. Am I on that? Yeah, I'm on. This is it here. It's a very mucky. It comes nice and clean. I've just mucked that up. It's Distress Ink, and what I've used for this one is a one called Tea Dye. Now, there are loads and loads of different colours. There are loads and loads of different browns. So I think walnut stain is the darkest brown, and it's a bit dark for me. It might be your preference. And there's one called Antique Paper, which I think is the lightest sort of brown. This tea dye, it's in the middle somewhere, and I think it's just right. And to apply it to your paper, very often I use, I've lost my, I use these, which I buy from AliExpress in packs of 6 or 8 or whatever they are, and they're makeup sponges, really, and you just dab it on and use it like that. The other more accessible and probably correct way of using it is to use these Tim Holtz, I guess they're called dabbers, and they come with blenders, are they? And they come with these removable foam mats. So you only need to buy one tool and plenty foam mats for all the colours that you'll be using. And then when you change your colour ink, you change your foam disc, and you don't get any mishmash between colours. So this you just dab on, and then you just rub it along the edge, and it does blend better. There's no denying it. You get a better line, a better blendy line with this tool than you do with the makeup sponges. If you want it darker, just go over it again. And it does blend in more nicely than the makeup sponges. So that's something you could consider purchasing, perhaps, if you haven't got one already. Right. Here, as I tell you, I used shabby chic paper because that's what I had an abundance of. Excuse me, I'm just going to have a drink. And actually, even after making this journal, I still have an abundance of it. So it will be appearing somewhere else. I love shabby chic. It's my favourite thing in all the world. After Mr. F, of course. But what?
It's neither chic, but definitely shabby.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, because I want to keep the cost of this thing as low as I possibly can, instead of purchasing first of all from Etsy and then printing out one of the My Porch Prints kits, I thought that it might be a good idea to use book pages, where I've used the shabby chic paper to use book pages. So I sent Mr. F off yesterday on a mission of mercy to find me a book with suitable paper, and if it was a children's one, so much the better. So he came back with this. I mean, the man's genius. So they're quite light. Some books that you get of this sort of age and older have started to go yellow, and that's the plum ones. Those are the ones that you really want. But this one's fine, and it's full of stories to read to your children at bedtime. But I'm not going to read to Mr. F at bedtime.
Aww.
I'm sorry, I'm not. And we are actually going to use it for our wherever I've used shabby chic, not the ephemera, but wherever I've used the shabby chic papers, like down there, we are going to be using book pages. Now, I was lucky that Mr. F found this children's one. It doesn't have to be a children's one at all, because you're not going to be able to read it. You know, by the time we've added bits to it and chopped bits and whatever, you're not going to be able to read it. So any book really. This sort of size is great, because then you can, you know, I've got enough room there to chop that big margin at the bottom off, and I'll still have plenty room. So I would say have a look around your bookshelf if you've been collecting books for a little while, for junk journaling. See what you've got. If you haven't got anything suitable, get yourself to the charity shops, Goodwill shops, whatever. See what you can find and come up with a book that's got, if you possibly can, not one that's shiny. The shiny ones I'm not so keen on. This is, I don't know how to tell it. It's really nice, sort of thickish paper. And it's almost got that cartridge paper sort of feel to it. And the other genius thing about this is it's got sewn in signatures. Now, when you've got sewn in signatures, have you got your little nail scissors over there? Have I got them? I've got them, they're here.
Yeah.
With sewn in signatures, if you find the centre and you see the threads, you can literally just go in, nick the threads out, I think I've got all of them. No, not quite. And then once you've nicked them all, take each side of it in your hand and pull it gently, and you'll end up, you've got the whole double page to play with. So for things like the centre spread and that, where you need wider, you've got wider. So that's some things to look out for in an ideal world. You want a book that's not shiny, preferably a children's book. If you can find one that's yellowed, so much the better. But that's the ideal sort of book there. So that's that. Now, come to the ephemera that I've used in here, and it is all shabby chic, and it's pretty much exclusively My Porch Prints stuff. I love their stuff actually, but it's not very childish, and we now want it to go with a children's book page. So I've scoured around Etsy. It's taken me hours. And this is the best set that I can come up with for a reasonable price. And this is Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodah's set. And it's called Kids Capers. And I think there's a lot of sheets in the set. And I'll just go through them with you, and you can see that there's things in here that we could really cut out to make gorgeous ephemera from. You know, they're really nice. So I've printed the whole set off so you can have a look at it. I mean, some of these are just gorgeous. How come everyone's the wrong way up? You know, really nice. That on its own's lovely. Now the whole set, this is bizarre, isn't it? Everyone's upside down. The whole set is £1.76. I'm not sure how much that is in dollars, but it's really inexpensive for a big set like this, and it's giving us plenty of scope to, you know, chop some ephemera out of that. I mean, that little girl on the swing's gorgeous, but then so is this text. This little boy and girl catching butterflies, I think. And, you know, this text here. So for £1.76, I think we're buying quite a lot of ephemera that we can make ourselves. I think my printer's been having a laugh. I'm really not sure why it's printing each page upside down. So there, you know, there's a couple of nice bits there. This is nice, interesting stuff over here. And this, the green background pattern would make nice ephemera. Here we've got lots of toadstools and this lovely text as well. I mean, if you want to go and spend more on your you know, for your ephemera, that's fine. I'm just really trying to keep the cost down. Here, Oh, look at that. What a gorgeous big journaling card that would make. And here. So, yeah, you know, for £1.76, it's good value for money. And we'll get our ephemera out of that if we need to. Or, while you're at the charity shops, you might want to scan the children's section. I've had this book for some time, probably a year or so, waiting for the right occasion. And because I never do kids' journals, the right occasion, of course, has never come along. But now it has. And it's just perfect. It's just loads and loads of little nursery rhymes, some of which I've never heard of before and are a bit spurious, but they're just full of things that we can cut out and make journaling cards with. Look at this little girl with a curl. I mean, fabulous. So really scour your charity shops. Have a look and see if you can find anything like this. Because it's an old children's book, nobody wants it. So I'm sure that these were 3 books for £2 when I bought these. I bought this and another nursery rhyme one, and I don't know, Fashion Illustrators one or something like that. This too has been strung in, so you could take your pages out completely if you want to. Look at these. These are all just perfect. So that's a really good book that I'm lucky enough to have. But I know that they're around. Oh, look at this with the robins. I know they're around. I've seen them subsequently, but thought, well, I don't need to buy another one of those because I haven't even used the first one, which is not like me, I'll grant you. So there's plenty in there, I think, to keep us going, to make journaling cards, etc. The thing is, because these are double-sided, you know, cut one out of here, cut this little fella out of here, and we're going to end up with this. They're not going to make very good journaling cards as they are. We're going to have to back them with paper, and that's fine. It's just the way it is. Right, what else do we need? Yeah, for our project, in my book, I used lace. Quite a lot of it, actually. I used it pretty much everywhere that I could. You don't have to use lace if you don't like it. It's not mandatory. I do think it finishes things off nicely, and it has a cohesiveness about it. So I've sought out some lace that I like. I quite like this blue. It's exactly the same as that pink, except it's in blue. It was dead cheap. I got it from AliExpress. It was really cheap. And I thought blue might go quite nicely with my book. Or to go with the book pages that we're going to be using. Maybe cream. Maybe cream would look quite nice. You might decide white would look quite nice. That's fine. You know, whatever you fancy. I mean, that's a nice lace. All I would say is, at the start, you're going to use quite a lot. So if you haven't got very much of one type of lace, introduce your second one fairly quickly so it doesn't look when you go along like, oh, all the same. Oh, change, she's run out. You know, intersperse the two as you go along. So I'll make a decision at some stage which lace I want to use or whether I want to use both of them. The other thing...
Could you just while they're talking about it, they're talking about copyright. And you were on about cutting them out, and Jean says, or copy the image, Miss P. And Hilda's pointed out copyright. So Jean's saying, so I can use a whole page from it, but I can't copy a page. Could you just... Yes,
Hilda, you're quite right. Any book really that you come across, unless it is pre-1923, I think, is copywritten. That means you cannot make a facsimile of any part of it at all. So even if it's for personal use, you can't. You're not allowed to. It's illegal. What you can do, however, as we do with the Edith Holden books, is if you like that image, cut that image out and put that image in your journal. That's your image. It's in your book. You're not tinkering with it at all. You're using it out of the book. And there's such a thing as an end user's agreement. And because I've bought this book, I am now the end user of it. And I can use any part of it as it is to do anything with. Well, within limits. You can't use it for anything rude or derogatory, anything that kind of defaces the book.
Sully's the good name.
Yeah, sully's the good name is a good way of putting it. So if you just want to tear it out and stick lace on it, whatever, that's fine. As an end user, that's your right to do that. You cannot copy it. Don't copy books. It's illegal, so don't do it. But yes, you can, as the end user, you can cut bits out and use those. And I know it seems a bit strange, but that's why everybody's clambering to get Edith Holden books. If we could just copy them, there wouldn't be a problem. We'd buy one, we'd copy it with it, fine, no problem. But you can't. You have to actually use the book, the images and the text out of the book. Okay, I hope that's cleared that up. Don't get into trouble with copyright, because the people that you'd be arguing with will win every time. So, yeah. Right, so I think, is that about it? When we come to make up let me talk about sewing. I've sewn quite a lot in this journal. I appreciate that not all of you have sewing machines and not all of you want to sew. I will be sewing in the journal because that's what I do. And I've looked out some thread that I thought might go. And the thread that I've chosen, the threads, are that dark sort of brown or that colour. I'll probably err towards this colour, and then it won't really matter what sort of lace I use. I don't want to use just a sort of winter white, off-white, because it won't stand out. With this one, I used a very bright cerise pink, so it would stand out. So I think I'll probably end up using that one. But that's your choice again. Some people use black all the time. Some people use white all the time, whatever. That's your decision. It's your book. Glue. Well, glue is, it's the topic of junk journaling. What sort of glue you use. Oh dear.
Well, to be fair, there's only paper and glue.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the two things you can talk about.
Yeah. I'm quite sure if you use PVA glue throughout, you'd probably be all right. Don't you think?
I suspect so.
I suspect so. But there's a whole market being built up around this paper crafting business. And
Victoria Max joined us.
hello, Victoria. I don't recognise your name, and it's very nice to have you with us. Got my back to you. Sorry. Hello, Victoria. Well, you've got some buddies on here because there's lots of our people are from the US. Two main types of glue that I use. And one is Aileen's original tacky glue, which is great for paper to paper. That will always stick paper to paper. It's perfect for that. And then Fabri-Tac, which is more expensive, arguably a better glue. You could stick anything to anything really and not worry about it. So if you're only going to buy one glue, buy Fabri-Tac. It will never let you down. But it comes in these big bottles, and the nozzle at the top is quite large. So you actually get quite a lot of glue out at one time, which is more than you need. So it's wasteful. And as I've just said, it's quite expensive. So I have some smaller bottles. I've got another one around somewhere, this one. these smaller bottles that the Fabri-Tac, can I just say, was a gift to the channel, to me, from the lovely Hilda, who's very kind to this channel. And another gift was these little plastic bottles from Lynn, who's also very kind to the channel. And if you can see the nozzle on these, it's minute compared to this big hulking thing. So the amount of glue that comes out is much, much less. You're using less, but you still, it still gives out enough, more than enough probably, to what you need. So it's kind of worth getting these little bottles, decanting your glue into your little bottles and using them from there. They're much more manageable. What I would say is, if you're decanting them, this is a whole topic in itself, but the Aleene's is too thick to come out of the little nozzle. You won't get it out. So just add a bit of water to the Aleene's. What, 8 parts glue, 2 parts water, something like that?
8 to 1.
8
Between
to
8
1.
to 1 and 10 to 1. Between
8 to 1 and 10 to 1. So as it's sloppy enough to come out of the nozzle, but not so sloppy that it's just going to all over your page. The Fabri-Tac, however, is not water-based glue. It's a solvent-based glue. And so in order to get it to come out of this nozzle, you need to water it down with nail varnish remover or acetone. And is that the same sort of 8 to 1?
Yeah, same sort of ratio.
Same sort of ratio. But you'll feel it yourself, when you come to do it, if you're really having to squeeze hard to get it out, add some more acetone, nail varnish remover to it. And you'll get the right consistency eventually. So that's the glue situation. Right. Okay. Yeah, the other thing that you are going to need, I'm looking down here because I have a list. Today I have a list because it's kind of all official business. We've used this golden fabric, as I said, because we have it. It's on the outside, and if I show you in between the signatures, you'll see it's on the inside too. You can use anything that is firm, and I mean firm, something like denim. I mean, this isn't a massive book, so it's not taking a load of pressure. But something like denim, calico, something that doesn't sort of give or move at all. You need it to be fairly strong. And we'll come to building the spine and all of that when we've completed our signatures. But I will say that you will need a tiny bit of cardboard, sort of 1 inch by 8 inches piece of cardboard, something quite firm. We use dried cat food box because it's nice and thick. So something, when we come to it, I'll show you and you'll see what you've got at home. You'll have something, I'm sure. And the only other thing that I can think of is you will need something like embroidery thread, thin string, something like that. This is crochet cotton to actually tie your signatures in. And that, I think, if you've got all of those things, or at least a portion of them, we can get cracking, really. So the first thing to do is to take the little book apart. So what I'm going to do is get my scalpel. Now then, on the front, you will be able to feel and perhaps see, depending on the state your little book's in, that there are 2 staples. They're in about, I don't know, 1.25 inches from the top and the bottom. And you can just see them there. And similarly on the back, you can see them. Actually, I'm wrong there. Before we do that, the first thing you must do is number your pages, because you think that you will remember. But the amount of times with that little ballerina, I had to read the whole book to get the pages in the right order. I was doolally. So number your pages and then you'll know that you've got them right. Do it in pencil and then you can rub it off when you've finished assembling your book. So 1, 2, hope you all liked the book that you've got. I love this one that Jen sent me. It's gorgeous.
If you wasn't listening, you did point out all the pages in your book that you've done are in the same order. You can still read the story.
No.
Did you point that out?
I didn't point that out. Quite a few pages, aren't there, really? Yeah, what Mr. F says is just very important, actually. I watched, when I knew that we were going to do this project, of course, I went to YouTube and to watch all the videos I could find on people altering little golden books and see if I could pick up any tips or ideas to pass on. What I did notice is that in all of the videos I watched, and I'm not saying that applies to everybody, but certainly all of the ones that I watched, people didn't seem fussed about whether the book was still readable when they'd finished altering it. To me, that's a really important part. I really wanted my story to start on page 1 and end on the last page and be in the correct order throughout the book. What other people were doing was just taking the book and adding paper to it, so the book stopped being readable. You know, everybody said the same thing. Oh, you haven't bought this book to read it, you bought it to look at the pictures. Well, that's not good enough for me, I'm afraid. I really want to be able to read the book when it's finished. So that took a bit of jiggery pokery trying to work out how we could do that. But we did, and I'll pass that along to you in due course. So let's see if we can find the back of these staples and just slit along there, along where the staple is, with a scalpel or a sharp pair of scissors would do, but be careful. So I'm just going to lift off that little bit of tape, the little golden bit of the book, so as I can see the back of the staple, which is there, I think. And same with this other one. Just be careful when you're doing this. Don't want anybody to die in the process of making a little golden book.
It's not the way to stain your pages.
No, we don't want blood-stained pages, thanks. So I think I can see both bits of that. So let's just get in with a little screwdriver and just push the legs of the staple upwards, so as we've got a chance of getting it out. Doing the least damage that we can do to the book. So that's both legs of that one. I'm going to be lucky with this one because I can't even see them. I don't think I've taken enough off. I think it's under that brown bit. Yeah. There we are. So just force it to go up. Sure you all know how to remove staples. Like that. Okay, so we've got those up. So turning this over, but be careful, don't wreck your cutting mat in the process. Using a big screwdriver, get into where the staple was and try and tease it up. Might be better starting at the back actually.
comes from the back now, is it? You've got the pliers on it behind you.
Sorry? What?
If you shut it up, they've come through. Oh, have they come through the other side?
No. Not yet, they haven't.
Do you want me to...
That's it, that's one off. That's the other one off. It's just needs a bit of help to stand up, that one. There's a little on the drunk side. Right, so now let's get some pliers, do you think?
You get the little screwdriver that you had, turn it over so you get the other side of the staple, and then push it under there. Put the book right on the table.
Oh yeah, I haven't got anything sticking out now. I can't see that. Oh no, I haven't cut these staples, have I? You only cut the back ones.
That's where you're going. Hindy says she's ordered the rotary cutter that you use.
Ah, good for you. You'll enjoy that.
Hindy says she's very bad with cutters. She keeps cutting herself.
Oh no. Well, be careful when you're doing this. So I've got that one sort of half oiked out. I'm going to get these delicate pliers. That's it. That's one staple out. Let's try and do similar with this one. Be careful when you're doing this, Hannah, because no matter what tool you're doing it with, there's a bit of jiggery pokery going on. Mr. F's holding his breath, people, I can tell you. He's watching it thinking, oh, I wish you'd let me do it. I think it looks worse as well, people, because I'm left-handed. I'm not really as cack-handed as you think I am. It looks worse because I'm a lefty. So there we are. Let's pull that out and see where we're at. So there's our two staples. Let's get rid of them now because they're sharp and nasty. And let's see what we've got left. Okay. So we've numbered them, so we're all right. So mine came out in ballerina one, came out in 2 signatures. This one looks like it's all in one. And it also looks like it's attached to the tape in the middle. So this is a very different construction to the one I've already done. So I'm just going to tear those out of there where I think they were glued onto. So now we've got this cover. And, you know, you can see where I've been mauling it a bit. But ostensibly, it's okay. And what we did with the one that we've done is we used this spine, we slit it down there and put something to strengthen it.
We didn't slit it at all.
We didn't slit it?
Don't slit it.
Oh, right, okay. I thought we'd slit it to spread it.
No, we didn't need to spread it.
Oh, that's right. We folded it there.
Split it. Whatever you do, don't listen to
it. Yeah, don't
split
it. Don't do as I say. Yeah, this is how we end up, guys. This is it. Where there is where it folds for our signatures, and this bit here that we haven't split is going to be the spine, and it's going to be strengthened by another bit of card in there. Okay? Is everybody understanding that?
So put it how it was originally. That's it. That's how it looks.
Right, that's how it looks, and it did have its pages in here. Okay? So that's how it looks. And when the pages are in and it's all stuck down, that's where it folds there. But when you've taken the staples out and you can open it all the way up, take all your pages out, fold it there where it used to open and there, and that's going to be our journal cover there. like that. So don't split the spine down the middle. I mean, if you do, it's not the end of the world, okay? But don't. Try not to do it. But if you do, don't fling it in the bin in disgust. Everything is salvageable. But if you can help it, don't split the spine apart. Some of your journals, of your books, might be so old that they're actually falling apart. That's fine. We'll show you how to get over that. But that's really what we're aiming for.
Creative Nana's joined us, Sheila.
Hiya, Sheila, Nana.
And Carol Vaughan.
Hello, Carol. So you see, this is the journal that we've done. This is the journal we're about to start. See? Is everybody okay with that? Hina says that's a lovely spine. That's something you never thought you'd be writing, isn't it, Hina? Right, so the book. Well, we're coming up to an hour. I don't know whether to leave you alone or carry on, really. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that today. We've accomplished all we wanted to. We've gone through the list of things that you might need. I've shown you My Little Ballerina journal, which is where we're heading for. So on the next day, which will be Saturday, we'll put these pages together in so they read properly. Because if you were just to do that and put book pages in between, it ceases, you stop being able to read it. Well, I'm saying that, but mine looks like one signature. Just have a check. The thing about it is that we need to get rid of some space down here, because when it's folded, like the new journal that we're going to make, folded there, see our page is too wide? See that? If that was there, this would be sticking out over the cover, which you can't have. That's a no-no. So we somehow have to get rid of some of this width along here. And I'll show you how to do that on Saturday. And then hopefully we'll get through that and we'll begin to make our journal. Okay? So I hope everybody's followed that.
Nancy's got her first staple out.
Well done, Nancy. Blimey. Yeah, sorry to leave it there, but there's a lot of information there for new people. And in the interim, make sure everybody's got their book. Yes, miss. Make sure everybody's got their book in the same way as I've got mine. Make sure you've numbered your pages, Nancy. So you can make your journal like that, okay? So I'll see you on Saturday at 2 o'clock, same time as today's one, but on Saturday, where we will make these pages less wide without just hacking a hunk off the side. And then we'll make a real and proper start to the journal. For the newcomers amongst us, the Saturday and the Sunday lives tend to go on a bit longer, bit longer than they probably should in some cases, to be honest. The other thing that you can have done is get your papers prepared. If you're using coffee stained paper, get it, choose the weight that you want and get it ready. I'll show you how to cut it as well. See if you can find some book pages, if that's what you choose to use. See if you can find yourself either a nursery rhyme book or a children's book of any sort that you don't mind cutting up. Or failing that, go over to Tina's Shabby Dabby Doodah and download these kids' papers. And do them only print on one side. That way then you won't have to back them with anything. So there's your homework, girls. And Mr. Sinclair, if you're watching. Apart from that, I wish you all a happy bank holiday if you're in this country. I hope you make the most of it, even with these restrictions that we have upon us. And if you're in the US, just have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Saturday. Any questions?
Yeah. So when some people take them apart, there might be 2 signatures. Is that right?
There could be 2 signatures. There could be 1 signature.
I think it probably depends on the age of the book.
I think so. But whatever you do, number your pages, because otherwise you will spend forever reading this blessed story and it'll drive you mad. So number your pages. This looks to me like it's 1 signature. The other one I had was 2 signatures, but it doesn't matter. I'll show you how to go on with them. Anybody need to know anything else?
I don't believe so.
Lynn is reminding us that please, if you could subscribe to this channel, it would be fantastic. It means a lot to me. We are gathering pace up to 1,000 subscribers, and trust me, when we get to 1,000, you will be glad that we did, because we will be doing something really nice for well, not for everyone. Everyone can enter. Somebody will win. So bear that in mind. Gather your friends around you and see if you can subscribe and get up to 1,000 and see what the giveaway is. Okay? So there's a little sort of secret gem for you that we didn't know about.
Sharon says the staples aren't coming out very easy.
No.
But the thing is just to take your time.
Yeah, take your time and stop trying to watch me with half an eye. You need your full concentration on this, because first thing that I did, Sharon, don't forget, is I went to the back. I uncovered the staple by splitting the paper so I could actually see the staple. Then I used the little screwdriver to stand the legs up. Then I went into the back and pulled the staples through to there, and then into the front with the pliers. Okay, so take your time. I think the staples sometimes on some of the older ones are really down into the book board, so you might have to dig a little bit to get them.
Another way of doing it is to split the paper on the front and the back, lift the legs, and then if you tap the legs, the staple should come out of the back, and then you can grab it with some pliers and just pull it out in one go.
Yeah.
To save all that ratcheting in the middle.
Yeah, I prefer the ratcheting method, because, however, take your time. If you're using sharp things, please be careful, please. And there we go. We have a sister group to this channel, and it's called Miss Paintalot's Junk Journal Group, and it is just the best group. I can say that definitely. We are populated with some really nice people, kind, supportive, generous, helpful, lovely people. So if you want to join us, you're very welcome. The only rule we have really is be kind. So that's not hard to follow, is it? And I'll see you all again on Saturday. Thanks very, very much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. See you on Saturday. Bye, guys.
Bye.